I'm Barry Smith. I'm the general manager of MTD Products in Verona, and I'm serving as the chairman of the Community Development Foundation this year. And I want to thank you for your attendance here tonight at our open house. And most of all, I want to thank you for your support of the Community Development Foundation. I'm going to ask Kim Karen to come to the microphone. Kim serves on our board of directors, and she chairs our chamber division for this presentation.
Hi, thank you so much for being here tonight. We are so excited for y'all to see what's behind these curtains. We are so fortunate to have a marvelous, talented artist in Charlie Buckley that lives in our community, is part of Tupelo. In case you don't know Charlie, he and his wife and their daughter Jane live here in Tupelo. Some of you may have had, your children may have had Amber at the high school. Now she teaches at Ole Miss. But Charlie grew up in the South and kind of moved around a lot because both his parents were in the ministry. So they weren't settled too long in any community, but they were definitely in the South. And Charlie went to Ole Miss and got his BFA in painting, and then he went on to get his Master's of Fine Art in Painting at Miami University. He is also, just to make sure y'all are all covered, he taught at Mississippi State and at Ole Miss. So we want to make sure all those are covered. I just wanted to thank you for being here, and I hope that y'all will really love what they have to show you. Charlie, you want to give us a little background?
Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it, and thank you to the CDF for asking me to do this. It was quite an undertaking to tell this story, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we did what we were supposed to do. This started with a conversation between Kim and CDF about what we were trying to say here, and after a meeting we had with the whole staff of the CDF, trying to come up with sort of a mission statement here, we decided that the role of the CDF was to create leadership, which in turn creates innovation to further our community to gain prosperity. And so those are the three themes that we chose for these three paintings, and that's what we've tried to illustrate here. I'd like to thank, first of all, David Rumbarger for asking me to do this, the whole staff of the CDF, and Kim, and specifically Mallory Lawson, who was the anchor for me in this whole project, helping me get through the troubles here. So Mallory is just as much of a collaborator on this project as anybody else. So thank you. And Amber, my wife, she's really the person who saw it every night, who told me what was bad and what was good. And so anyway, but we'll talk about each one as we unveil these images. And but thank you all so much for being here. So first, we're going to have Lisa Hawkins to come up here and unveil this first one. And yeah, as y'all know, I was lighting the midnight fire here, so there's a little wet spot on here. We're going to be very careful with how we unveil this thing. So let's bring it out here. So this story is pretty self-explanatory, and it starts with George McLean, obviously, through the Tupelo Plan, through a peaceful integration of our schools, and we just tried to tell the story of the vision of leadership and how Tupelo itself is different, and Lee County is different from other communities that we've seen, and why we're so successful is because of the leadership we have. So let's move on to innovation. Mr. Godwin. So in this one, we obviously are trying to tell the story of what am I looking for? The industry, yeah, the changing in industry in Lee County. So So I feel like it's obvious that, the community wouldn't be here without the train. And then we move into textiles, and then the great innovation of the dairy production in Tupelo and Lee County, into heavy manufacturing, the furniture industry, obviously, the medical field, which is an anchor in our community, and then, of course, the high-tech innovation here with Toyota. Okay, last one, prosperity. Mr. Copenhagen. Okay, and this I was just trying to tell the story of the fruits of our labor here. What we get from having an innovative community, and how successful of a community Tupelo and Lee County are, and really the entire region. And we've got Elvis, just so he's in there. So anyway, it's you can ask me questions, but I feel like everything's fairly self-explanatory. And we tried to hit all the high notes and get everything in there that we needed, but these are the paintings. So thank y'all so much.
I'm impressed. I saw bits and pieces as it went by and had a chance to look at it, but all together, I tell you what, that is the story of our community, isn't it? Wonderful. Charlie, let's give you another round of applause. Mr. Martin, there's somebody over there looking on while J.C. Whitehead turns that valve for the water. Can you tell me who that is? Right over here. Does that person look familiar to you? I don't know how many of us remember George McClain, but does that look like George McClain? Outstanding. Charlie told me in the beginning he wasn't a portrait artist, but I think he did pretty darn good, don't you? Well, I'm going to give you a chance to participate. We had a chance to talk to a lot of folks about what this would look like and what needed to be involved. But, just like Rodin had his Three Sisters and Michelangelo had his Sistine Chapel and Da Vinci had his Mona Lisa, we've got Charlie. Now, why did y'all laugh? That's not right, is it, Charlie? But we would like to name this triptych. We don't know exactly what we should call it. So we've got some cards over here, and we've got a box. And if you would like to think about it and maybe help us name the three paintings together, we've got individually leadership, innovation, and prosperity. But we need a name for them all together. Now, we will be doing prints. Doing one print for all and then individual prints, so that'll come later. Charlie's going to do that. He was really, like he said, burning the midnight oil to finish leadership so that we could have this unveiled today. But I think they're wonderful, and they'll be something that our community can treasure from now on. So if you'd like to, come up sometime and be able to maybe get an idea to name the three together, what they're called, the Three Horsemen, or, not the apocalypse, certainly. But, you get the gist, right? Let me thank again Kim Karen of Karen Gallery. What a great and wonderful asset to the community the Karen Gallery is. Let's give her a round of applause. And one of the things that the staff said before we started the next open house, we had one a couple years ago, is that we need to make this a little more homey. Who's the person that can make your home more homey? Room to room, right? So thank you, Miss Lisa Hawkins, for the furniture outside. She's got it on loan. If you like it, you can go to the store. We got a sale going. Exactly. But listen, we wanted to portray the community and what our goals and observation is. And we stand on the shoulders of giants. And Charles and Harry, we've got you here today, some of our chairmen. We've got some chairmen that unveiled it. Thank you all for being a part of CDF. It is the Community Development Foundation. So thank you for being here. Please enjoy the drink and the food, and we are adjourned at this point. Thank you.